Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata.
Hi guys! Well, today is Friday, and I've been inspired by the beautiful woman of her future who started what they're calling Forgiveness Fridays to try to do a blog or a vlog every Friday that has to do with forgiveness and share with you kind of what forgiveness is, how to use it, tips on forgiveness, and tools on forgiveness. So I decided to start at the very beginning because that's probably a good place to start. My intention is to really give you hardcore Course in Miracle philosophy and ideology that goes behind forgiveness, but also make it very accessible to you so you're not like, what? Like, what's she talking about? Right? So, because that's what you want. You want something you can use in your practical everyday life, and you want it to be easy and breezy, and you want it, if it could be fun, let's make it fun. So, let's start at the beginning with forgiveness. Course teaches that, we were once in this beautiful place called love. And we had this, what the Course calls a tiny mad idea that we were separate than love. So something came up for us. A lot of times for us, it's early in our childhood. Someone said something, our feelings got hurt, something came up. Our mothers maybe told us to not do something that we wanted to do and we were hurt. Whatever it might have been, something came up for us inside and we decided that we were separate all of a sudden than love. This is the tiny mad idea that we had. And as that happened, we separated. We kind of split in our minds. The separation never really happened. It just, we believed it to be so. And as time went on, as we grew up here in this physical form, as we got older, we began to reinforce that separation, that belief that we became separate than loved. And then that's obviously where the ego comes up. So what's happened on this journey, on our detour from love, is that we've developed blocks. And I like to give you the image of what I call spiritual hoarding because this really helps me understand, and it's probably going to help you understand. When people really start this work, they look at their lives and they think, oh my gosh, there's so much to forgive. And that can feel like that at the beginning because a lot of us, until we become aware of this belief that we've separated and we realize, oh wow, we haven't, how do I get back to the place where I'm happy? We've picked up a lot of things. So we've hoarded all these spiritual things, all these emotional things, all these things that have caused us pain. So picture a hoarder. The show on TLC does a beautiful job of showing us what really happens and how this is interesting, how people, these things that we hold on to for these people manifest in the external world as stuff. So for us, what I'm talking about is we're manifesting something internally, and because we're holding on to it, it's kind of beginning to accumulate. So if you look at your life and you can see, where have I spiritually hoarded? Relationships can cause a lot of hoarding. People can hold on grudges for a very long time. Job situations, past experiences, hurtful experiences, domestic violence, abuse, whatever the case may be for you, there's things that will build up for us if we obviously have not taken a look at it and began to heal it. So this is what I call spiritual hoarding. So all of us begin this journey and we realize, wow, I've hoarded all this stuff. Now what the hell do I do with it? Like, how do I get it out of here? That's what most of us obviously want to do. Once we become aware of it, we want to get it out. This is where forgiveness takes place, and this is where forgiveness is essential. So forgiveness is so much more useful and bigger than when someone just says, I'm sorry, and you say, okay, I forgive you. Course in Miracles teaches forgiveness is the key to happiness. When you have all this stuff everywhere that has caused you pain and anxiousness and grief and suffering, whatever it is, and you realize that it's there and you're like, oh my God, what the hell do I do with this? Then you say, I'm going to forgive it. And what it really begins to do at this point, forgiveness, is it begins to release that stuff. So if you think again as a hoarder, so if you look at one pile and you think, okay, what do I do with this? If it's not serving you, it's time to go. I mean, that's the easiest way. But I like the people on the show, it's hard because you have attachment to it. You think that it's useful. You think that you need it. Somewhere deep down inside of you, your voice is saying, this is not helping you. It's just hurting you. But because you've reinforced this belief in the separation, you want to keep it there. Somehow it seems like it's making you feel better or making you feel complete, or it's necessary. But when you do begin this work and you realize, well, it's not serving me. I want to get rid of it. I want to get it out. then forgiveness can come in as a beautiful tool. So as you begin to forgive these things, you realize the piles of things that you accumulated over the years on your detour out of love will begin to diminish. And at first, of course, you're going to have these humongous piles, but life is meant to be simple. As we separated, we complicated things so much, and this is why we developed all these piles of things that, we've categorized into this one person hurt me this many ways, and this one person hurt me this many ways, and this situation pissed me off in this many ways. And then it gets even more complicated when, like, say you're in one relationship and this person says something and it reminds you of all these other things that people have said to you, and now you have all this emotional baggage, emotional hoarding, spiritual hoarding that you're doing. And sometimes it's like from years and years in the past that you're bringing up stuff. So hence why forgiveness in this way can be so, so powerful, because as you release those, that's why it's your key to happiness. As you release them, you'll remember that, oh, I meant to be happy. I was born into love. That is where I am currently. Think of it as a parallel universe, and this helps me understand this. There's another you, let's say, that's in this beautiful, loving, blissful place, but you've forgotten that you're there. If that makes any sense. You forgot that that's where you actually are. You kind of lost your way. And now with this releasing of it, when you begin to take off the stuff that's blocking you, you begin to see the clear path back. So as you've hoarded all the stuff, this is good stuff, guys, okay? This voice of love is like really on right now. As you've hoarded all the stuff, it's blocked off your home, okay? Like that's how the hoarders do. So you're trying to figure out, where is my home again? How do I remember it? How did it used to look when it was beautiful? We forgot all of that because of the hoarding, because of the detour. Now with the forgiveness, we begin to diminish the piles, and it's going to be a lot of inner work. But then when you get to a place where you can begin to see a clear path, yes, there might be situations where someone might still annoy you. And all of a sudden, yes, the piles, it's like someone annoyed you, you have a little pile. But because this reminded you of all of this, the piles come again. That's why forgiveness is so important. Because in an instant that you forgive and you release, it goes back to nothing. That's how simple it is. That's all it takes. It just takes the willingness to say, okay, I want to let this go. I want to see this differently. When you're able to do that, you'll be able to declutter that stuff all over again. But that's how powerful forgiveness really is. It's so much bigger than we really understand it to be. So think of it like that. Think of it, picture the image of hoarding. Picture that in the detour, that is what we did, most of us, for all that time. We hoarded all this stuff. We're remembering what our home, our real home, really looks like. We've forgotten. And we're still there. It's like the hoarders, they're still living in there, but they've just forgotten what it looks like when it's not all this crap everywhere. That, and most of them have that response on the show. It's like, wow, I can see my living room again. Hell yeah, you're going to be able to see what the hell your life is supposed to look like when you get rid of all this stuff as you begin to forgive it. So I hope this gives you a better picture, a clearer picture, no pun intended, of how to use forgiveness in your life. And hopefully we'll get to add on to this. If you are not on her future and you're a woman, please join her future. There's a wonderful power posse called Forgiveness that is there to support you on this journey, on this decluttering, on this cleaning out of things, so that you can get back to your real self, so you can begin living the miraculous life that you are really meant to be living right now. And you're meant to be happy, and like I said, we've forgotten how to do that because of all this other stuff that we've brought up in ourselves to block. So forgiveness really helps you release the things. It really helps you declutter all the blocks that you brought into your beautiful home, into your beautiful heart, into your mind. And what we're doing right now is we're decluttering that mind of yours so that it could see clearly once again by forgiving everything that has helped you believe more so in the ego and the fear than remembering what the love is really about. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy Memorial Day and family, friends, whatever it is you're going to do. Lots of love. God bless.